pearl necklaces. Welcome to another episode of Whatcha Packin. Joining me today, all the way from New York City, it's Marsha.
I'm Michelle.
How are you, cutie?
I mean, I'm here talking to you today.
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the season, we've been living it up. We've been growing. We've been evolving. I'm currently in Kinky Boots off Broadway.
Are you really?
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't Blair St. Clair in that too?
She did wigs for us.
Wonderful!
Yes.
So it's kind of like a little RuPaul's Drag Race meeting.
It really is.
What are you doing? Are you Lola?
No, no, I'm not Lola. I'm one of the angels.
Are you enjoying?
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
So you've got some kinky boots on today.
Oh, of course.
That's a high heel for Marsha.
Yes, I guess so.
Thank you for admitting. That wasn't
course.
shade. I'm just being honest. Your heels are a little small.
Yeah.
Right?
So are mistresses.
Oh, girl! We are not comparing. We'll get into mistress later. Can you
I-
take your foot and hold it up so we can see it?
Of course I can.
Yes!
Is that enough? Can you?
Yes! Let's talk a minute about your makeup journey,
Yes, my makeup journey.
shall we? We started out in clear mascara and chapstick. Mm-hmm. And we progressed to a fully realized drag queen.
Yes, we did.
Did you learn some things about your face?
I did, especially in part to so many of the queens, you know, offering advice, things like that. Sasha Colby definitely helped a lot. And even since the show, I've learned how to add like more color to my face and more warmth, and I look more like someone who's alive, which is probably good.
How long have you been doing drag?
Virtually, I started like during the lockdown, really like digging into it.
It's only a few years, really.
Yeah, and when we started filming, it was only like a year or so, like in person, like
Right.
performing.
Had you gotten any performances in before the lockdown? Meaning, were you able to perform in nightclubs as Marsha?
No, I was on a national tour at the time, so
Of?
Hello Dolly, Carolee Carmelo.
Oh, how
Yes,
nice!
it's very, very fun. And I had done drag like in college like, a couple times, stuff like that.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to the Boston Conservatory.
Oh, which is very fancy.
Yes, very
And was
fancy.
voice your major?
No, it was just musical theater in general, but I had like an emphasis in dance.
Right. Your ballet?
Ballet and jazz, yeah.
Were you considered a dancer who sings?
Yeah.
So dance was always 1st.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up dancing.
I grew up doing gymnastics.
Stop it! Oh my God, I'm learning so much
Yeah.
about Marsha. How many times have you auditioned?
I auditioned last season, but it was bad and wasn't even worth it.
So twice.
Yeah, twice.
You freak out when you get the call?
Yes, a little bit. I was actually on the subway in between 59th and 125th, and I was getting the phone call and I couldn't answer it because I was underground.
No.
So I got out at 125th and I ran up the stairs and I found like a quiet corner and I was like, oh.
Now, Marsha isn't really fully realized at this point. I'm thinking, because it's only been like a year.
Yeah.
Where did the idea come from?
Well, I love the 60s and the 70s fashion-wise. I love when something's like instantly recognizable and you look at something and it's like, whoa. I feel like a lot of queens, especially when they're younger, they show up and they blow the bank and they just try and look as like opulent and as expensive, and they try and make a big jump when they get the phone call. And I was like, I feel like if I make a big jump, I'm not gonna feel comfortable. What was so important to me was performing well. Not even like necessarily winning challenges or like winning the whole thing. It was, I wanna go on and show how valuable I am in like a creative setting, that I can like act and dance and sing and choreograph and direct and design and sew. Like I wanted to show that I could do all of these things.
It's not about the money. So you're smart to not have blown everything you earned on the outfits. It's about aesthetic. It's about style. You can make something that was thrifted look amazing.
Yeah.
Bedazzle it, glitter it, cut it, nip it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's ways of making it work for no money. I think it was just a matter of, in the beginning, you wanted to be just passable at the
Sure.
A&P.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And that was cute for her, but for Marsha, we needed to amp it up.
The thing with like the makeup, I got home and I was like, I don't know what I want to look like.
See? There was
Yeah.
no point of view. If you don't have it, you can't do it, right?
Yeah.
So go on, tell me what happened.
Yeah, so I started playing around with like different shapes and stuff, and like I love Twiggy. The graphic liner, it's all so cool. It makes me look like a doll, and like that's kind of where I'm living now. So the evolution has been very cool and very exciting.
Let's talk about some of these beautiful looks. Now, I know you
Sure.
wore one. This green one.
This was a take on a Givenchy dress. I think it's like a wedding dress from like 1952. And I just loved the little like high-low skirt. That was made by Gloria Swansong. She does like vintage fashion. Everything is like perfect.
The bows.
The bows, I added the bows
I
myself.
love the bows.
Me too. I
They're
love a
very
bow.
Marcia, and they're very like,
I love a bow. I love Givenchy. That's another one of like vintage, like Audrey Hepburn is another one that I love.
you're talking about classic styles and classic silhouettes that will never go out of style. That empire waistline, like anything in that reference point in style, you should really dive deep. And you're tall, and it would have been so beautiful.
I know. I have this beautiful like strawberry blonde that I was gonna do. It was gonna be so pretty.
And this is classic and beautiful. And of
Yes.
course, you added a giant bow to it.
Yes.
As Marcia would.
As Marcia would.
Who made
yes.
this?
I made that one.
Marcia!
Yes, I did.
And did you teach yourself how to sew?
Initially, my mom taught me how to make masks
Okay.
during lockdown.
Like
And-
these are COVID
Yeah,
masks.
like COVID masks.
Okay.
And then it went from like that to like, what's a circle skirt? What's a corset? You know, things like that.
I started with a pillow, so you're way ahead of me.
But yeah, this was an Audrey Hepburn dress as well in my mind. And there's a cape, but you can't really tell. It's very, very long.
But it's quite impressive to be able to go from and teaching myself how to make a COVID mask into a gown.
It's therapeutic for me. I like love sewing. It's like when I'm like stressed, I'm just like, I'm just gonna do something.
Baby, keep that up. It's such a great skill. Even for theater. If you don't like something or an outfit that they get you or a costume, you can don't tell anybody. And this one you wore.
Yes. I wanted to talk about this one because I was safe this episode and I was so upset. So I made that one myself
You
as well.
did!
Yes. And I hand painted it to make it look like rust because I knew everyone was gonna go like shiny and sexy and streamlined. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something old and rusty because no one's gonna do it. And I love the Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is, when I was little, it was absolutely everything to me. Literally.
Can't go wrong. Where something did go wrong was the comedy challenge.
Yes.
Selena stole Mistress from you.
Yes.
And you were on your own. Wah.
Wow.
But I do give you credit because that was not easy.
It was not.
You were the only lonely goat herd.
I was. That was kind of the one challenge that I was like, I've kind of done all of this, but I haven't done stand-up. So if anything's gonna go wrong, it's gonna be that. And even though I went home, I don't think I did that poorly. People laughed. There were laughs.
There were absolutely worse that have come across that
Yes,
stage. And
for
there were
sure.
absolutely better that have come across that stage. But,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, somebody's got to go.
And to go home in a challenge where the odds were stacked against me.
Correct.
And to go home to Anitra, who was a really great friend in the competition and who was one of the sickest performers there.
Right.
I was like, I mean,
That lip sync,
I've heard it was very good.
trust me.
Yeah, you kind of black out when it's happening.
100%. You had it out with somebody in the workroom.
I mean, Untucked Mistress said that my outfit was cheap and she thought I did bad in Snatch Game.
So she told you that.
Yeah, and she announced it to the room, which was funny because I was like, you realize they told you that you were funny, but the impersonation wasn't there and they didn't know what your outfit was. And because Mistress is kind of that way.
She's one who tries to get into the psyche.
The horns pop up. But ultimately, you know, we squashed it. It was fine.
All good now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't have any bad blood with any of the girls.
You kind of can't. You're going to be touring with these bitches.
Yeah.
You're sisters for life. Once you go through this thing like this, my God, it really does bond you.
Yeah.
Are you proud of yourself? Are you happy with what you did? Are you glad you did it?
Absolutely. I'm thrilled with the entire experience. I didn't think it was as hard as people always say that it is.
What?
Yeah, it felt like I was in like rehearsals or something. Like, I'm not kidding.
I think that's just because you're a theater kid. Because for every other human
Yeah.
being, it's hell.
I'm like, I don't think you've ever like cleaned a floor in a summer stock.
Theater kids are used to critiques, They're used to notes.
Learning quickly.
Yes, doing it on the fly. And the progression of you just in those few short weeks, I'm so proud of you. And to the point where, Marsha, I can't wait to see you at the finale. I can't wait to see you in 2 years. I can't wait to see you on the road in 5 years, seeing you on Broadway, wherever you are.
Thank you.
I can't wait. I'm so proud of you, kiddo.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next time on another episode of the Emmy-nominated Whatcha Packin.
I do not like the way that my face looks without my eyebrows covered in drag anymore. You did it.
This is a moment. Oh, hey, everybody, it's Michelle Visage. Do you want Emmy-nominated gay? Well, then subscribe to RuPaul's Drag Race on YouTube.